from Washington is National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. John, good morning to you. It's great to have you back. So we've heard from you and repeatedly from the administration that these strikes against the Houthis are intended to degrade their capabilities. But so far, it hasn't stopped them. Is there any expectation that the result will be different or more definitive after this latest round?
Well, we'll see what happens. The Pentagon is doing an assessment right now to see what the effect was, not only the strikes in Iraq and Syria on Friday night, but the strikes in Yemen yesterday. We are continuing to go after their ability to hit us. And in the case of the Houthis, to hit international shipping. We are trying to take away their capability, make it harder for them to throw these punches. Again, we think we've achieved good effects in both rounds of these strikes, both in Yemen and Iraq and Syria on Friday night, but we're still doing the assessment on that.
But, John, isn't that the criticism, though? Like, is degrading their capabilities enough? I mean, what do you say to these shipping companies who've had to travel thousands of miles to avoid this area because they don't have safety and security in the Red Sea?
I tell them that the president has put together a coalition of 20-some-odd countries, ships and aircraft and other capabilities in the Red Sea to try to make that passage as safe as possible. Now, we can't guarantee that there still won't be attacks on their ships, but we are doing everything we can with the international community to protect that shipping. We know how vital a waterway the Red Sea is.
And it's important to remind our viewers there are multiple operations happening here because separately, you noted earlier, the U.S. launched those retaliatory strikes against Iranian-backed groups in Syria and Iraq. Of course, this is a response to the 3 Americans who were killed in Jordan. Is there more to come with that operation, and how soon?
There is more to come. What you saw Friday night was just the first round. And it's not going to be the last one by any stretch. I won't get ahead of military operations one way or another, what they're going to look like, when they're going to come. But the president has been clear. We are going to respond in a forceful way. 3 Americans were killed. Dozens were wounded. We have got to respond in a strong and aggressive way, and we'll continue to do that. But there will be more. There will be more response options as a result of that attack.
Why did it take nearly a week, though, to carry out those strikes? Did that give the militants time to regroup, hide, and protect their resources?
Well, it takes time to develop the target sets to make sure you've got enough visibility on the targets that you're going to go after so you can be sure you're hitting what you're aiming at, and we feel like we did. But that takes time to develop. You know, there's also the weather can be a factor in something like this. I mean, the strikes that we took on Friday night were using manned aircraft, including bombers from the United States. And, of course, you want to make sure that your pilots are safe and secure as they conduct these vital missions. So weather plays a factor in all that. But it wasn't an exorbitant amount of time here. We needed a little time to prepare ourselves.
You insist.
Oh, and as for your other question, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but you also asked about whether the Iranians or the Iranian-backed groups, the militia groups moved anything around. I can't speak to that specifically. We do the best intelligence assessment that we can in terms of developing these targets.
I wanted to just pick up on something. You said recently that the U.S. is not speaking directly, no direct channels with Iran in the region. Why not? Some say that's exactly what should be happening to prevent further escalation.
It's not like we haven't had direct communications with the Iranians before. What I said was we haven't had any direct messaging to the Iranians since the attacks.
But isn't now that pivotal moment? Isn't now that pivotal moment for that discussion, those direct talks?
We're sending a pretty strong signal with these strikes that we took on Friday night, and I guarantee you that we're going to be sending another strong signal to the Iranians and to the groups that they're backing, the IRGC, and the groups that they're backing over coming days.
John Kirby, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.